You gonna come? It's time for show. You better get your show paws on. You better get ready to go. It's time to go. It's gonna be about. It's about showtime. These people ain't gonna wait all night. They ain't got time for that. You better hurry up. Better get them paws on. Come on. You better get to it. I ain't got time to play with you. I'm over here getting ready for business. Yeah, I'm getting ready for business. You over there playing around like it's playtime. It ain't playtime. It's time for some serious Mudflood. And ready? Okay. You want me to tell them? Okay, public service announcement. Okay, all right. I'll tell them the public service announcement. Okay, welcome to Muddy and BEAGS episode 51. We is live on Sunday night, and Muddin would like me to do a PSA. He would like me to let everybody know to quit shooting off them damn fireworks because they scared the shit out of him. So please, please, please quit shooting off the damn fireworks. He's about over it. Yeah, I told him. I just told him. Didn't you not hear me? I just told him. You gonna come say hello to everybody? You just gonna be antisocial, but well, whatever. You do whatever you want to do. I ain't got time for it. Maybe I'll just give you a biscuit. Maybe that'll draw you in. Yeah, I figured that'd draw you in. Yeah, bribe you. You just want to bribe. That's what you want. Oh, you nut, crazy dog. Yo, cuckoo clock. Okay, all righty. We're ready to go, I do believe. I see Miss Teresa Gregory's hanging out with us tonight. Hello, Miss Hippie Shake. How you do? And hello to your doggies. And hello, Miss Anna Q. And I saw Morgan was hanging out earlier. So we're going to go on and get into it. Let's go ahead and get the pleasantries out of the way. There's Sig Sar. Welcome, welcome. And we'll get these out of the way and we'll be right back.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice. Because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okay. All right. Yep. Thank you. Well, I guess I did need, a little bit of bath. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. That's enough. Anytime now. It's clean, I think. Okay. All right. Thanks for the dome cleaning. Okay. Good job. Good job. Whew. Okay. Uh, Alrighty, so let's see what we're going to get. Okay, so we're going to start off this week and I'll show you the Pittsburgh Hump cut research for the week. And we'll start there, I do believe. Hello, Miss Virginia. And let's see here. Let me add this to the stage and make my doodad right. And that should get us in the proper way to go. Hippie saying that she was having trouble with her dogs. Do they? Oh, you've had the same trouble. Okay, they didn't shoot fireworks off for the 4th of July. It was kind of nuts here this year. They were kind of a little bit overkill this year. But poor thing, he hates them to death. I can't even hardly hear him, and he acts like he hears every single burst. So, anyways, okay, so here's what I've done this week on the Pittsburgh Hump Cut. This is the Sanborn Fire Map of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from 1905. I see Morgan's back here. What's going on, Mr. Morgan? And so the Hump Cut, where we started off, was right here. It's in green. And then I went, as you know, if you've been watching the show, I've been section by section and documenting what buildings are demolished and what buildings remain. And the key is down here in the bottom left-hand side. This color will be stone building. This color is the color that will mainly focus on. That's the red brick buildings. And then there's various forms of those. And then you have yellow being a wood frame building. And then there's various forms of those. And the section I did this week is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 20, and 45. And so go ahead and let you see that. This is map 8. And you can see there's just a ton of brick buildings. This is kind of getting up into where I think a lot of the what do you call it, the industrial kind of things were. And so there's a little bit more of that industrial kind of stuff up in here. So there's a lot here, and the Allegheny River is right there. And then today, this is what is left. Everything in green is now demolished. So the only thing you have left is these buildings right here. And we'll go to map 9. And as you can see, there's still quite a bit of buildings here. And these are not little buildings now. These are, you can see there's a lot of information on these maps, y'all. This number right here tells you how many stories. That's a 3-story building. That's a 2-story building. This is a 2-story building with basement. Now, truthfully, I think most of these had basements, so I'm not really too worried about that. This one also could mean 2 basements, but it's at least 1 story with a basement. Let's put it that way. But anyways, it'll give you a lot of information on these things if you know how to read them. These numbers right here are the street addresses, and they're very helpful to an extent. They did a lot of changing of street names. They did a lot of moving of street numbers. They even moved streets to different places, different kind of crazy things. But this is an American Steel and Wire Company, so it's a big factory. Let's see what's left. Oh, good. 1 building right down here. Oh, hold on, let it lock in. There it goes. So 1519 Penn Avenue is the only building left in that map. Go to map 10, and you look down in there. Anyways, another thing they show here, that 20, that I believe that's 20 feet between here and here. They also will give you there's 40 feet between there, so that gives you some estimates on distance. Sometimes they also give you estimates on buildings. I was looking to see if I could find one. They'll give you the estimate of how long it is. Not a lot, but sometimes. I'm not seeing one right here, but anyways, there is sometimes measurements on how wide things are. But there is a map, a key on here, right here, so you can also use this for scale and figure that stuff out. What my point is that these are not small buildings. They're not tiny. They're not little tiny brick buildings. This right here could be 80 feet from here to here. Okay, let's see, 50 feet. Okay, you turn this to the side, 50 feet. Okay, that's 50 feet right there. And that's probably 20 feet. Okay, yeah, I'd say 20 feet. So 20 by 50 foot building, three stories tall. That's not a little building. Welcome, GT. How you doing this week? So anyways, let's get on to what's really important. This is 1905, and this is today. We got 4 buildings left. Let lock in. Got 1609, 17, 17, 17, 19, 17, 21 left. So we've got some good ones left. And this is map number 11. And let's see here if there's anything weird. This right here, this number 120, this 120-foot tower on this church. So there's 220-foot towers. 35-foot to eaves. There's just all kinds of interesting information on these maps. If you're willing to look into them and use them for your research. So let's see this is 1905, and this is what's left. Oh, we got quite a few left on this one. Awesome. That's awesome. So you got this big church left and the priest house over here, and you got some buildings left. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. This is map number 12. And we're going on here. And let's see, as we get on down here, you just see all these little buildings are here. Just a bunch of buildings. Okay. And so this one was interesting because it's in the stone color. So, fireproof construction. So this was a stone building right here. So that's interesting. Now, I believe that, I'm remembering this building is actually at least facaded in brick. So I'm not sure why they're saying fireproof construction. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I know it is in brick today. Now they may have facaded it with brick out later. I don't know. But anyways, that's just a little footnote. Let's see this is 1905. Let's see what's there today. So we got this left. So there's a few good things left. So that's cool, And they left this big thing. I think they turned this into apartment buildings. They repurposed it, which is awesome, So we got map 13, and we're just talking a ton of buildings here. I mean, we don't need these buildings. They're kind of useless. They're just brick. I mean, 2, 3, 4-story buildings. I mean, there's really no purpose to keep those buildings. Why would you keep them? They don't have bathrooms and they don't have HVAC, and they don't have a lot of the amenities that we prefer in our culture. This is 1905, and this is today. And so we got some buildings down here. So I guess these ones might have had toilets or something. I don't know, but we saved those, so that's good. This is map 14, and I'm going to give you a little better look at that. And this was a weird building, the shape of it, kind of a strange way to build. So this looked like it was all wood frame here. Let's see what's left. This is map. This is 1905, and this is what is left today. So we got a few goodies left. Section right here must have had a lot of bathrooms in this area, so they saved that. And this is map number 19. And I'm going to get in there and take a little look at that. And we get on up here. Got a roundabout here, turntable. This is what they turn the trains around on. So anyways, we got that stuff there in 1905, and this is what's left. Got a couple down here, and got some up here that are left. So that's awesome. And this is map 20, and we got a roundhouse here for the Pennsylvania Railroad, and a bunch of buildings there. Mechanic shop, Pittsburgh Stoker and Manufacturing Machine Shop, Hardy Brothers Candy Factory. And let's find out what's left today. And there you go. So we got 3 buildings there. And I missed these 2. I need to make sure those are not there. So I missed those 2. Whoopsie. So we got this big old sucker here, survived. That's awesome. It's been repurposed, and we got some buildings up here that survived, so that's good. We got map 45, and got little buildings down here. I believe these were kind of in the area of the railroad stuff, and then we got this big old hospital here, West Pennsylvania Hospital. So it was a big old thing, and if you go by the thing, it's 150, at least 150 feet across, probably 150 feet this way. So it's a little fellow. Let's see what's left. and we got this left. We got this building and that building. So that's great. We saved a few, and that's always good. So I'm rocking some apple cider tonight. Hot apple cider. That's pretty good. And hello, Liza. How you doing? And so that is what I got done this week. And so next we're gonna move on to a little something different. Let me remove these thatties. And hold on, I got get my setup here. Make sure we're in the right doodadded to doodad. And just a second, folkies. And don't need that anymore. Okay. So I think we ate trees that were, so you say we ate trees that didn't need to make a shit. Hold on. That's just, it's such it's such a weird anomaly. Um, it's a weird anomaly that's actually going to be a little bit just tiny part of what I'm going to talk about next. We're going to go a little bit somewhere different tonight. If I can figure it out, let me see. And why is this not there? Okay, it wasn't there when I went to show it. So I ran across this week. I thought it was interesting, and I just thought I would share. I thought we'd take a look at it. Cincinnati. So we're going to do a little Cincinnati digging tonight. So get your mud boots on, get your shovels out, and let's go. 25,737 people lived in the Kenyon Bar when city razed it to the ground. And it all sounded innocuous enough. Urban renewal, plans for redevelopment. But bureaucratic language can hide all manner of sins. In 1958, when the preliminary plan for its overhaul was completed, Kenyon Bar was a dense neighborhood home to 25,737 people, nearly 5% of the city's population at the time, and the approximate combined population of Oakley, Hyde Park, and East Walnut Hills in the 2010 census. But no matter, in the name of renewal, every last person was forcibly removed. The buildings and the streets where they lived razed to nothing. The new empty space was renamed Queensgate. And this is a photograph from the neighborhood. And if you are aware and know your old world research, you'll know that we're in the right neighborhood. So we got 1920s the West End. The Kenyon Bar was in particular had been heart of the black community in Cincinnati. What remains of Kenyon Bar today is 27,000 photographs in the Cincinnati Museum Center's archive. A survey conducted prior to demolition. Each photo is numbered and dated, and the same signboard held by a rotating cast of city employees. The photos are, wittingly or not, heartbreaking, even haunting. People and potted plants filling residential windows, corner markets busy with shoppers, billboards and businesses, row houses upon row houses, a vivid street life frozen in time, address by address, as architecturally significant as any street in Over the Rhine. They are imbued with an ominous sense of what is to come, the willful wholesale demolition of a 400-acre neighborhood, and not just the structures but the community, the social, political, and cultural network that filled them. There's another photograph from the area. City documents also remained in the library's local history stacks. There are 2 slim planning volumes plus a thick final report tied up neatly in a red box, a water-stained relic of a fundamentally flawed remake of the city's urban landscape. Those shiny renderings of a bustling Queensgate never quite came to be. The phrase slum clearance comes up
a number of times. As a talking point, it makes sense. Who wouldn't want to clean up unhealthy living conditions? To be sure, a majority of the units were in need of repair. They'd been subdivided and neglected by landlords for years, and structural and sanitation improvements were daunting. Here's another photograph from the area. But the term slum vastly oversimplifies the neighborhood and falsely suggests there was no alternative. As far as costs go, the city estimates $62 million in 1958 dollars to make it a blank slate, and 6 years to get it there. Tearing up roads ain't cheap or fast. The photos depict a much more nuanced reality, as does the city's list of units of use, which include 10,295 dwelling units, 137 food stores, 118 bars and restaurants, 86 barbershops and beauty parlors, 80 churches and missions, 24 dry cleaners, and 6 funeral homes. Of 11,535 total units, only 171 were vacant lots. There's another photograph from the neighborhood. It is hard to read the reports and not get an unsettling feeling about the subtext. Pages upon pages detail the proposed traffic patterns, parking, and promise of industry, but the community that was doesn't make much of an appearance until the preliminary reports Appendix B, existing conditions. It notes the demographics of the 25,737 residents. 25,135 were non-white, with the first sentence of its occupancy characteristics section stating the area is occupied almost entirely by Negroes. And in the day's political and financial power structure, that meant little chance of protest. There was also a matter of where exactly the displaced were meant to go. Many residents were moved to Avondale, but the existing housing stock could not readily absorb the influx, especially at the price range affordable to African Americans with such limited job opportunities at the time. And the city acknowledged and proposed residential towers were insufficient. Here's another photograph from the area. Another photograph from the area. As far as the residents of Kenyon Bar were informed, the notice came in the mail on city letterhead. The building which you occupy has been purchased by the city of Cincinnati. Now that you have received this letter, you should start looking for another place to move immediately. All occupants of this property must move. The message put any hope of a reversal of fortune on ice. It was signed very sincerely, yours, Wanda W. Dudeman, Supervisor of Relocation and Property Management. So tonight, I thought we'd take a look at this collection of Kenyon Bar, Cincinnati pictures before the demolition of the entire community. Now, again, we have another shitty archive that whoever's doing the coding on this page is basically high as hell and doesn't know how to code. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but bear with me, and I think we'll learn a little something. So I've got to click each picture, okay, and it's got to load the picture, and then I've got to go down here, find the picture, hit the picture again, and then I've got to hit the picture. I've got to do that for every picture. So bear with me, folks. So we have Mudflood windows. We've got a Mudflood drop in here. Alrighty. And I'm just going to move as fast as I can through these. Okay, what did I do? Okay. Okay, I know. Hold on, folks. There it goes. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. We got Mudflood drop-ins here and here. Mudflood windows. Alrighty. And the point is that one thing I heard them talking about in the a news broadcast that I heard about this from was they said that one of the reasons they wanted to tear down this neighborhood was because they didn't have any bathrooms. They didn't have bathrooms. I mean, like, this is what we're talking about. Like why no bathrooms? You know, it's kind of ridiculous. Look how big that door is right there. Got Mudflood drop-ins right here and here. That's a Mudflood window. All right. And just bear with the process. And I wish I had a better way to do this, but unfortunately, the people that code these archives, they're getting sloppier. The more I find, I think what's happening is it's taken so long for them to input the data and code them properly that they've kind of almost given up because there's so many photographs they're trying to put up and it's slowing them down trying to do it properly. So I think they're just doing a shoddy. Maybe they're going to go back and fix it later and make them better. I don't know. But I can't even download it. You can't download them. They're not the highest resolution, as you can tell. But sometimes we got to take what we can get. Hello, Kim Ray. Got to take what we can get and see what we can see. So, and some of these are going to be winners and some of them are not. Look at the detail on that door right there in the windows. I'm sorry, but okay, if this is a low income housing development like area, like why would you put such detail into a window? That doesn't make sense. That dog don't hunt. It seems a little bit overkill to have such quality on low income property. But what do I know? Okay, so I mean, look at this. I mean, what's going on with this door right here? While they have the windows bricked up, look at those windows. Like, does that look low income to you? It doesn't look low income to me. There's nothing that screams about that as low income. Like this is the low income area. I mean, now I think that this happened. The same thing they did in Brooklyn, where you had old world structures, and they called it the low income kind of area and a slum, and they then started burning out the buildings. I don't think if you go back and look at those images of that neighborhood, it was a nice neighborhood. It was run down because nobody was taking care of it. Mudflood drop in right there. Nobody was taking care of it. But I think the whole thing was a nice place. What's going on, haha? How you hanging tonight? Let's see. I know this is a little slow, but bear with the process. Y'all been through this before. Y'all can handle it. Look at these like arched windows, and oh, look at the detail right there. I mean, like, really, for low income, I mean, you could see that it's just a regular low income black neighborhood in this time. I mean, you don't expect them. You wouldn't expect those people in that time to take care of those houses. They wouldn't have the money because they're low income. But my question is, when they built them, did they build them as low income? Is this low income housing? Does that look at all like it's low income housing that when it was first built? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that this wasn't. I think they're just trying to hide it. This is my opinion. Opinions are like tail holes. I mean, 6R's got one. I got one. I mean, everybody got one, but this is mine, They're not all going to be winners. Digital archives are like a box of chocolate. You just never know which one you're going to get. So you just got to keep digging. Got something going on right there. You can see it. That's a Mudflood window right there and there. I mean, there's no reason to put that much detail in a low-income building. Zero. If I'm a slumlord and I'm building a low-income building because I'm going to sell to, low-income, the low-income black people of that time, I'm not giving them quality construction. I'm building them the shittiest little shack I could possibly build. Matter of fact, if it's out of brick, they got lucky because I'm not going to spend the money being a slumlord, giving them a brick building. I mean, they'll be lucky to get a tent. And I'll charge them 15 times more. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, it doesn't make sense. Sig saying they had 12-foot ceilings, 10, 12-foot ceilings inside. Why? Why would you do that? Like, what would be the point of that? Look at this. Look at the detail here. Look at the arched windows. Look at that roof. Really? Low income? Seriously? Does this look like it needs to be demolished? Like it needs to be razed to the ground because it's such a shitty place? I don't think so. It's the same thing I saw in the Bronx. It's just them saying, "Oh, it's a bad neighborhood. It's run down. Oh, we got to get rid of it. Got to, there's slums." Look at that. Come on. I don't think so. I really don't. But what do I know? I'm just a simple country bigot. What the hell do I know? I tell you what, whoever coded this digital archive just needs to be, I don't know, just literally bitch slapped. You dumbass. Just absolutely bitch slapped. Because it is just, it's ridiculous how this works. Like, you cannot, this is just terrible coding. I could code better than this. I taught myself how to code one day. I was bored. That was not a good one. Like I said, they're not all going to be winners. They're not all going to be winners. Teresa says she's seen the slums in Cincinnati and this ain't them. I think she gets it. I mean, I'm not seeing slums. I've seen the slums, before. And, I'm sorry, these people, to me, are living high on the hog. I mean, they're living right up on that hog. Just, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with these buildings. Now, okay, granted, they might not have toilets, and that's a problem. Look at that. I mean, come on. I wish these were better quality. And I don't know if they have better quality or not. They just, this is the resolution that they uploaded. Nothing I can do about it. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing, but maybe they're trying to do it. I don't know. So that looks like a frame building. Yeah, it's a frame building. See, we built that. We could build frame building, no problem. We could build anything. It's just, it's not a matter of can we build it, can we not build it. I think we can build most of what's there, but most of what was here. But I don't think that's the question. I think the question is, how in the world did they build it with the technology they had, the amount of people they had? Like, where are all these bricks coming from? There's no accountability for these bricks. Mudflood windows everywhere. There's no accountability for all the bricks that were used. None. So, until we get accountability for that, yeah, we see a brick kilns here and there, but I'm sorry, the amount of bricks that we're seeing in this, civilization are just way, 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 way more than, we had the capabilities. Like, not even not even close to what was needed. So, until somebody can prove to me where all the bricks came from, I think we definitely need to. We got some questions. That's weird. What is this? Okay, that was odd. I don't know what that was. I mean, that looks like a pretty nice building. I just don't see the problem with these buildings or why they would need to be um, demolished. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were, infested with, critters or something. I don't know. I mean, like the whole neighborhood, like every y'all couldn't figure out how to make these like usable. There's just y'all couldn't figure that out. Like there was no way. It was easier to tear them down than to fix them. I don't follow that. I still don't follow that. We still have the same problem today, which is very interesting. It's easier for us to tear them down than it is to fix them. What? Why is that? It's not because we don't have the technology. I don't know. There's just. I'm not saying that this is the nicest neighborhood in the the realm. It's not. I'm not saying that, but I'm being told that this is a slum, and it was torn down because it was a terrible piece of junk, and um, I'm not seeing that. I don't see trash piled up. I don't see broken windows. I don't see. Wait, where am I? Okay, hold on. This thing's gone funky. It's weird. So it's another thing is aggravating. Like I can't open that in another. I have to literally click that damn thing, and it goes to that. It's so stupid. I hope it doesn't do that thing it just did, because that would be really annoying. Why is it doing that? Mudflood drop in there. It's weird. Why did it go to that? Huh. Okay, maybe it'll stop doing that. Okay. Do. Get on there. Look at that arched doorway there. Wishes are about equality, but they are what they are. I think you are getting the point out. I mean, I think it should be pretty obvious to you that they're just not. Their reasoning for tearing this down was kind of not true. Just don't feel like they almost look like the same location. Kenyon Street. Bum. Morgan says they were viable, beautiful buildings. I agree. I don't look at that. Like, I mean, imagine living in that building today. I mean, who wouldn't be like happy to live? I mean, that is a nice building right there. There's nothing wrong with that one. There's nothing. There's no. I don't know. Oh, document inspired. Okay. document expiring. Quit expiring. I don't know what you're doing there. Okay. Up. Look at those arch windows over there. I mean, look at that. Why would you tear that down? What good logic is wrong with this stupid thing? I tell you what, whoever coded this website just does not know what they're doing. That it's obvious now. Bum, bum, bum. Kind of a peek into the life there. That's when I go back. It's so ridiculous. I'm gonna skip some of these. I'm just gonna try to find good ones. This website's annoying me. There's 2,700 of these, so we can skip around a little bit. They're interesting. Old Lair Street. Don't get in there. Wow. Look at that. Oh man. Come on. Like, seriously, whoever, somebody, I don't know, somebody should just go to jail, straight to jail. That's ridiculous. Quit. Damn, I'm not doing nothing here. You damn quit doing whatever you're doing. I don't like. Okay. Aggravate website. Check this one out, maybe. I'm just kind of randomly picking them here. Looks like a Hump for peasants. Mudflood drop in there. I mean, this looks like something you could see in New York. Why not? The quality? What's wrong with the quality? I mean, what this stupid thing? I swear. I'm just going to go back this way. All right. Go to page 4. Let's see. That might be interesting. Open sesame. Take your time. We got all day. Got a mudflood drop in right there with it's a trap door. I mean, obviously, you can see the modifications they did. Look at the detail up there. Page 1. It's supposed to be on page 4. I tell you what, whoever coded this just needs to be. This must be some student that's doing this that doesn't know how to code. Ridiculous. Okay. Very nice. Look at that. Tore it down because it's a slum. That's a slum building if I've ever seen one. Resend. I'll resend something. Oh, come on. Who is coding this thing? Oh, goodness. I had a feeling this website was going to be an asshole, but They're not taking my advice, I guess. Check that one out. Let's see if we can. Oh, come on. Oh, this site is so annoying. Yeah, Reese, come on. 12-foot arch doorway is just crap. Yep, that's true. Do. Richmond Street. Cincinnati Coffin Company. There's no reason that that building should be demolished. What would be like architecturally significant buildings, historical buildings? Can we save some? You know, one thing that absolutely drives me up a wall that they're doing today is you'll probably know about this. They're demolishing buildings, and as long as they keep one wall, like they usually keep the front wall, then they get to keep their number one, they allow them to demolish the building. They're like, okay, you can demolish the building if you keep one wall, and then it's like you have to keep one wall to keep your historical, building, like it's like, what, seriously, like, and like, what's the purpose? Like, once you've demolished most of the building, it's gone. Like, what is the facade? What are you doing? Like, who cares? Like, you've destroyed most of the building. Like, what do you like, trying to act like you've saved something? Like, either save it or don't save it. What are you doing? Like, otherwise, what are you doing? Like, what's the point? Why are you wasting the effort? It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think. Well, what I know. Euler Street. That's a pretty cool building. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why would you tear it down? Why? What? Quit. Why am I? Ugh. This website is just retarded. Whoever designed this was retarded. Ding, further done website. Would you like an apple pie with that? Ding, digital archives are done. Ding, digital archives are done. Would you like an apple pie with that? Damn, do what I'm telling you to go. Where I tell you, I click the button, you go. That's what you do. I click, you go. That's how we're going to work. We'll work together. I click, you go. Freeman Avenue. I don't see nothing wrong with this neighborhood at all. I really don't. Oh, what do I know? Oh, why? It's so annoying. I think they do this on purpose, just to absolutely aggravate the shit out of you, so you don't want to look at these things. That's got to be what it is. I'm just jumping around here. Try to show you some good ones. Yep, they did make it a long time. GT. I mean, how old are these buildings? It's interesting. Everybody's celebrating the 250th anniversary of, um, since 1776. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't think we're celebrating the right thing. I don't think we're, I think that I don't think 1776 was about what they told us it was about. I think that um, that's when they took over um, America and did whatever they did. I think it was the reset point. Um, it just seems like a good way to separate it, a good place to kind of put a bookmark and like, okay, from here we're going to go to a different thing. I just don't think it was. I don't think there was a Revolutionary War. I don't think that. I mean, they it quite possibly could have done a staging of a war like they did in the Civil War, um, to tear a bunch of stuff down. They might have done that, but I certainly don't think it was what they told us it was. I don't think people stood in a line and shot musket balls at each other's heads. I just don't. That dog don't hunt me. Um, a lot of mudflood winters around. Look at that. I mean, just an example of just the level of bullshit. Look at that screen door right there. Does that screen door look in disrepair? Does it look like the screen is coming out of it, or that it's not maintained? And the next door neighbor's screen door, does it look trashed? I think they've screwed these people out of their houses. What I think, I do believe, and that's messed up. Good old America back then is, they didn't treat people, that they didn't treat people well. I think the Moors were in America, and I think the big thing is hiding the Black history in America. I think that they really don't want you to know that, that you know they were very very important in American history, prior to them taking over. And I think they just don't. They really don't want you to know that. And I think that's why they came up with slavery and racism and all that mess, Ku Klux Klan, and all the the hate and the all that stuff. I think all that was designed to keep you from looking into, like, it kept white people thinking they were superior, and that there was nothing to think about other than that they're superior, right? And then you got it kept the black people oppressed, so they couldn't think about their history, where they came from. And look at that, jeez. I see this feature a lot. That's really interesting. I'm wondering if that's a wind catcher. I think that's a wind catcher window. Little mudflood windows down there. So it's interesting that they did that to these people. That, all right, this site's really getting on my nerves. I don't know why it's so bad. All right. I think I'm gonna give up on that site. That's just getting that's getting a little bit too much. All right, we're going to quit. I think y'all got the point there. That's that's a little bit much for the brain to continue to do that over and over again. Okay, alrighty. So I'll tell you what. Let's take a break and let me regroup for a second and kind of figure out where we're going to go from here. So we will be right back, you all, and get yourself a snack, and we'll party on. And I dare you to blink.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. Okay, Beagle, you ready? You want some biscuits? I hope y'all are having a good Sunday evening, doing what we do here. We do a little bit of this, we do a little bit of that. We never know what we're going to do. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's go back and look at more of the Pittsburgh Hill District. Continue where we left off last week. Let's share these screens and get my doodadded. Okay, doodadded. Okay. So again, we're in the Hill District, and this is in the 1960s when they demolished another black neighborhood. In the Hill District. So I'm going to kind of pick and choose which ones. Might be interesting. Webster Avenue construct. Okay, that might be. Okay, that's going to be Hump cut, so we don't want that. This is 1930. This is something. There's all kinds of different things that are mixed in here. So, so that's a nice building right there. Diamond symbology there. National bread. Eat you some biscuits. All right. Interesting. This is Solway Street and South Nagley Avenue. What are you doing, Beagle? Beagle's talking to the bunny out there. He likes talking to that bunny. Ah! Yes. Don't kiss me in the eye, you nut, you weirdo. You keep up, I'm going to eat you. Have me shishka beagles. I love shishka beagles. They're so delicious. So I hear. I don't know. I've been told.
It's a cool building. All right. Okay, that's Hump Cut. We want that. This is 1909, so this is before the Hump Cut. And, it just goes to prove that they did a lot more cutting down than the Hump Cut in Pittsburgh. No doubt. So I think that's important to note. Alrighty. GT, you only wear tie-dye? That's cool. Oh, look at the chittens. Aren't they adorables? He's looking at him like, what's your problem, man? Oh, I'll smack you in the mouth. That's what he's saying there. You gotta speak boy. Speak boy. Arc light back there. Some kind of weird Mudflood window there. Got arched windows. Dentals. All right. Not looking at the hump cut. We've already looked at the hump cut, so they'll be in here. Unfortunately, these digital archives do not allow you to search very well. I don't know who's coding these things, but they're not doing a very good job of it, in my humble opinion. Anyways, see where they've cut the road down here. Got a ladder lean for Douglas. Shout out UAP. It's probably some of the same guys that worked on the hump cut. There's Balsa Man right there. That's a 1929 vehicular flow. 1914 Rialto Street. So this is right after the hump cut. When they talk about hills, there's a person right there that he's moved. They talk about hills of Pittsburgh. This is definitely a hill of Pittsburgh. Burying a pipe right there. All right. Asbury Methodist Church, 1966. Got the 3 doors. Surprisingly, the one in the middle is not bigger, as it usually is, as we know. Mudflood winters on it. And you got a big pile of mud sitting around it. That's very common. Still got the trolley tracks in place in the cobblestone road. (1915) H.J. Hines plant. Laying some pipe there. This is where they make Heinz ketchup. Here's Fred. Fred being a horse to build America. Still looking for that donkey. Have not found him yet. One of these days. One of these days. I bet Sig will find him. Get on that, Sig. Oh, this is Hump Cut. Well, look at that one. We've already looked at that. Never mind. We don't want to see no Hump Cut. We've been there, done that. And it looks good. Things are all Hump cut. We don't need no stinking hump cut. Slaney Park. This is I'll just show you this just because it's part of the hump cut. This is supposedly, via the official story, this is where they took the hump cut debris, is to this park and filled it in, supposedly. I can't confirm nor deny it, but that's the official story. This is the Murray Avenue Bridge, in case you had a wondering. It's been hotter than the devil's asshole this week here. I'll tell you what, it's been awful this week. Pretty wore out this week from just getting blasted from the heat. But it is what it is. This is I believe that's this is 5th Avenue and Ross Street in 1966, I believe 65. And I believe this is the Allegheny Courthouse, but this is the hump cut area. This is where they did the hump cut. So these buildings are hump cut buildings. They were buildings that were lowered in the hump cut. So that's interesting. That's showing that those buildings made it to 1965. That's interesting. That's good. Good to know. Carnegie Tech. All right, go to the next page. Bum, 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 bum. Go, go, go. Let's see. Grand Street in there. Might be interesting. Manor Theater. Those aren't toys. It's like a knockoff Tudor style, isn't it? Isn't that what you call a Tudor style hippie? That kind of building? I know she's going to know that. She hangs out over there. I don't know if it's modern to me. That's weird. Drawing the proposed development for the Point. That's weird. Huh. Is that a griffin there? I don't know what the Point is. I didn't know what's going on there. Row houses. So these would be the low income areas. That's where they get the water from right there. Looks like the bathroom right there, I'd say. So that's the outhouse. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's outhouses. Hang your laundry out to dry. $1970 U.S. Post Office and courthouses. These are modern buildings. I remember looking into this. When I saw this, I was like, I don't think that's new. And it's in the hump cut area. So this is they tore down the Hill District. This is one of the things they built in the Hill District was an arena that it's now gone. They got rid of that. Petroleum Products Company, 1913. It's a boss man convention. We got tanks buried for some reason. Look at all that dirt. Working class housing, 1921. And I'm showing you this because like the lower, you know, the crappy stuff too, because you know it helps you understand, you know, that we did build crap. You know, it's there. It might be gone today. This is West End construction. All these old ads. Men wanted for the USA. Those old ads are pretty cool. So this is where, drawing the point, this is where the Star Fort is right here. And they never did this. So this was a concept art that they never did. So that's what we were looking at a minute ago. The hump cut was over in this area. Back, you know, back behind these buildings here. Street diagram. Let's take a look at that, see what that's about. I love how they have the horse. Got Fred just walking around. Interesting. Otto Milk Company. I know a guy named Otto. First time I ever met him, I said, "Are you named after Otto von Bismarck?" He said, "Who's that?" Never mind. Portholes at their penial, or at their antenna up on the top. Get you some milk. Immaculate Heart of Mary Church. It's a nice old order. Just need to go to get your healing from the healing center. So they don't let us do that now. We're not allowed. Rose Alley, 1911. Circle pump. To let. That wording is so just weird to me. To let. It stands out to me that it's a weird word to use. Look at that. That's pretty. Seen this a lot. Big arch, two small arches in a circle. Of course, that one's kind of different. It's more of almost an upside down teardrop, which is kind of different. Trunking tower for communications. Federal and Laycock. It's funny how everything's just kind of done already. Got 4 ones on the clock. So no IV. Oh wow, got a Mudflood drop in here, another one here. Hat's cleaned. Barber pole. Got their antenna. There's that same kind of arch with the circle at the top. Kind of hard to see at an angle, but it's there. Laycock and Grantham. See all these little trap doors here to Mudflood windows. So that's stuff that most people just never notice. You know, it's my guilty pleasure just recently has been watching the show Shameless, which is really good if you are into that sort of show. But you know, they live in this slum in Chicago in an old world house, and it's a 2-story with a basement, and the thing has Mudflood windows on it. And what I find interesting is that there's too many people in the house living in the house, and like there's not enough room, so they're always fighting over the bedrooms. Who's getting the bedroom? So like if anybody does something stupid like move out for a week, somebody's in their bedroom, and they've just taken up residence. Like you're not getting it back until something else happens, and like all kinds of they're always arguing about it, blah blah blah. But it's just interesting that like the father, his name's Frank. He's a drug addict, crazy, and he's always scamming. And he's got this family of Mexicans recently living in the backyard. And he's charging them rent to live in the backyard. And they're out there cooking like on a a wheelbarrow. They're using a wheelbarrow as a wood stove. Like they got a fire going in the wheelbarrow. And anyways, then later on I heard them mention that they were talking about that they lost the house. They got evicted, and they were the people that bought the house were looking over the house. And they're like, "There's this wrong. There's that wrong. There's bad roof. This is wrong. The copper pipes have been pulled out because they pulled out the copper pipes when they evicted them." And anyways, and there's like all these problems, and then they start telling them, "Oh well, you don't know about these problems," and they're like, "Oh yeah, and there's a family of Mexicans living in the basement." And I was thinking, that's really interesting. They're always bitching about how they don't have enough room, yet they clearly have a basement on the house. You can clearly see these Mudflood windows. And in other houses of people in the show, they do scenes in the basements that they're the same type of houses. So there's like a full-size basement down there. And you have to wonder, why are they not utilizing that basement? That, we have to build basements on these houses because, they're necessary. We need them. Yet we're not going to use them. Like, that dog don't hunt. Are y'all following this logic here? Does that make sense? Like, they're like a family that's fighting over, I think there's 3 bedrooms, maybe 4. There's not enough bedrooms. There's never enough bedrooms. I mean, they got like 4. The 4 boys are living in 1 bedroom that's meant for like 1 person, maybe 2 max, sleeping in the same bed. They got the 4 boys sleep in the bedroom. Of course, the girls get their own bedroom because they basically said, "Oh hell no, y'all got no, we can't have no boys sleeping in here with us." You know how girls are, and they need their privacy. Well, that's how they laid it down. The point is, okay, and another thing, there several times there's an old like Volkswagen or something in the back, like a van parked out back. And at times they would go out there and sleep in the Volkswagen. Like, you're gonna go sleep in the Volkswagen, and you're not gonna take time to fix up the basement. Like, it's like, what is the point of this basement? Is my point. Are y'all following this argument? Like, there's no point. What, like, why would you build a basement that you're not going to use? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, well, it's in disrepair or it floods. Okay, well, it would have done that when you built it. Like, there's nothing new here. Like, what's going on here? I know it's just something that stands out to me. You know how we mudflooders do. We kind of look at things from a different perspective. That's just how we roll. Look at all the other antennas up there. Look at this road. I mean, like, is this road even usable? It looks like they're working on it. Okay. Eat at Connor's. Meals, 20 cents. That's what I'm talking about. Whole meal, 20 cents. That's right on point right there, 20 cents. River and Federal. A couple of Mudflood winners. There's a horse drinking troughs right there. Hotel Rialto. That's our antenna. There's Fred down there doing his thing. You know, Fred brought all the bricks in. Look at this wrought iron work here. Very nice. Laycock Street. This digital archive is better. It's not perfect, but at least I can maneuver it better. I think y'all got the point of the other archive. Twin City Art Glass. Mudflood winners down there. You know, I just think the Hump cut was just the cover story. It was just the original. What we got here? It looks like bullseye pavement lights. That's original pavement. The original pavement lights. They were in a round glass in a metal frame, and the problem was that they were real easy to break. And they would break through. I mean, a lady's heel could punch through one if enough pressure was applied, and so they didn't last very long. They're actually pretty cool, but not my favorite kinds of pavement glass. But they were the original pavement lights. My favorites are the ones that are prisms that solarized, the purple solarized. But yeah, that's pavement lights right there. Arbuckle Alley. Okay. Mudflood winners down there. There's some right there. That's weird. Look how this grate is ripped out of it. That's kind of odd. Oh, look at the stained glass. We got stained glass, but we can't, do that. But this is two-let. Two-let. What the hell? That wording is just, it stands out to me. It's very strange. It just doesn't jive with my thinking. I don't know. And why not say for rent? That's what you're doing. You're renting it. Mudflood winners. Look how uneven that sidewalk is. It means they just laid it down and the earth moved. They didn't lay that on. I'm sure they would have graded that flat when they originally did that. They wouldn't have just laid it like that. That means it wasn't done right. I don't know. Of course, we built everything, as they say. Faust Alley. Faust Alley. Look how big that door is. All right. Grim and Laycock. All right. Isabella and Anderson. There you go, Morgan. What do you think about that? Mudflood Winters down there. Laycock at Federal. Boater hats. Mudflood drop in right there. And Mudflood drop in right here. Very nice. Must be a movie house or something. Photo plays in the city. Oh, look at that. Goodness gracious. Arc light, too lit. Brannaman River. That kid just sitting there in a construction zone. And you wonder why people were tough back then, because they had to survive. It's like a ghost person right there. Look how they did that coin into that right there. Kind of different, hard to see, but that's a coin with a Q. There's a trap door right there and there. Ooh, an awning. Arc light. Who didn't love good awning? I'm working on my vegetable garden, trying to get it worked out to where it looks good. It's kind of slow. This heat is just brutal. So I'm having to work a little bit and then take get water it like over and over and over again. It's just I'm working in an area. It's just full sun and it's there's asphalt and concrete underneath me, so I'm like just really getting blasted by the heat. And it's humid, hot, and just gnarly. So I'm making progress. It's just a slow progress, but that's okay. And I'm posting videos to keep you show you what I'm doing. I don't know if it makes much sense. It's a little bit, it's kind of hard to show some things sometimes. But I did get my camera fixed, so on my phone, so um, I'll be able to take some more videos now. I did something with my phone camera, and it was wackadoodle, to say the least. Anyways, I got that fixed this week. Mudflood landers, and also should be able to take some videos now. Wrought iron work right there. I wish they had left the wrought iron work. Look at that. Look at that wrought iron work. Man.
Hey, knucklehead.
I'll knock you out. There's Fred doing what Fred does. What are you doing, Fred? Oregon and Laycock, 1911. Mudflood lander. That's a weird feature right there. I don't know what that is. Kind of strange. Laycock and Anderson. Trolley. Bum, 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 bum. And you can see that from going in and looking at the sandboard fire maps, how much of this is gone now. That's why I'm documenting. I've got one more section to do, and then I'll make a video of all the sections together so you can see in succession, like how much was removed. Mudflood winters there. But I think it's there's no way to really without a lot of work to estimate how many buildings are gone. I'd say if I had to guess, I'd say at least 90% of the buildings that were standing in 1905 are gone now. That includes the buildings you're looking at tonight in these pictures. 90% of what you're seeing is gone. I mean, I think that's important. I think that, check out that ether finial. I think that is very important information. I think here's the thing. What I guess my point to this exercise is that we look at the buildings, Rampart Alley. We look at the buildings and we go, ooh, my, oh, me, oh, my, look at the buildings. They're so beautiful. They're so big. They're so amazing in the detail. And, we ooh and we ah as mudflooders, right? But what we don't do is we don't do any thinking about what was there. What was really there. And if you go back and look at these sandboard fire maps and then document what is there today, you can see, at least in some way, what was there, what's gone. See, they have demolished so much. It's incredible, and I don't think we realize that. And I certainly, absolutely did not realize that when I started looking at this hump cut. For sure, I didn't know this. A wireless to you. Huh. what that means. I don't know. American Mirror Company. That's kind of weird, right? I don't know what that means. Misa no speaking of whatever the hell that means. Mudflood Winders. So I hope y'all follow the point of the exercise of why I'm going through. Ooh, look at the stained glass. Going through all these sandboard fire maps. And believe me, I wish that I could show you the process of how I go about this, because it will blow your mind what is still there and what is gone, and it will blow your mind like how much effort it took to do that, to go through these and figure this out. The problem is, in order to do it, every time I switch, see, I have to look at 3 different screens. I have to look at the image, the map in photos, so that I can zoom in and see details like the address or the building name or street names. I have to use paint in order to look at these Mudflood drop-in windows and doors right here. Like, what is going on there? Look at that, y'all. And so I have to use those 2 programs. I got to use the photos to look at the image, the map. I got to use paint to mark the map with the green paint, let's say. And I got to use Google Maps, Google Earth, in order to look for the buildings, right? Now, every time I switch between those 3 screens, I have to change. Like, if I hit record, I can't hit record and record myself doing it, because every time I switch screens, it stops the recording. Or if I did it live, I'd have to share the screen over and over and over and over and over and over, and it wouldn't. It forever. I'd literally, kill everyone and die doing it. Like that's where we'd be. I mean, it's like it's impossible. I can't show you how I do it. I can't show you the research in action. I wish I could, because it'd be really interesting. I think, or maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. This could be possible too. We're going to go with one of these 2 options. Interesting or crazy? I don't know. We'll let Teresa Gregory decide. We got Mudflood Winners here, and so, anyways, are y'all seeing this? Like, look at these. Look at that building right there. Right, it's a. They would say a 2-story building with an attic. I call it a 3-story building, because good and damn well that's a room. Okay, and there's a floor, and there's a floor, and look, they're literally sitting in the doorway, in the window. I imagine this is the doorway. She's sitting in her doorway. So you go down into, like, really, does that make sense, y'all? Is that how you build a building? Matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me if I can even do this. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know. Nope. That didn't work. Well, that didn't work either. I don't know why it's not working. Oh well. I'm gonna try to get a snapshot of that. Okay. I don't know. Usually it allows me to get a. What am I doing wrong here? That'll do it. Okay, that did it. Okay, I took a snapshot of it. Okay. Because that was kind of cool. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Yeah, Muddin's tired. This heat is taking it out of him. He's it's so hot. I don't know. I got AC going, fans going, and it's still hot. It's just hot. There's nothing you can do to get out of this heat. I don't know how people around the world don't use AC. I just maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just our areas, the humidity. It's the humidity that gets you. That humidity is just gnarly. Mudflood winter there. Humidity is a beast. Like I've been to Texas and there it was 120 degrees. I'm like, oh, this ain't bad. Because you step in the shade, you're okay. You're good. You're just hot. But humidity, it's like wearing a sweatsuit. It's very unpleasant. It's like being in a. If you ever been a sweat lodge or one of them saunas, it's like being in there, but with your clothes on, and you're not meaning to be in there. Like you're just out normal. You're just hanging out in your normal clothes, and you don't have to move, and you're sweating. It's like a little doggy right there. That's pretty rare to see a doggy mudflood drop in. Doggy in a mudflood drop in. What is he telling us? You telling us something, boy? What are you telling us, boy? Are you telling us we didn't build this? We know. Oh, we know. Carlisle's Alley. Street closed, city work penalty $5. You're gonna get fined if you come down this road. Ooh, she's in trouble. Slap the cuffs on her. Mudflood windows all tore up. Boom, 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 boom. Ghost boy. Mudflood windows. There's Fred. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Laycock and Sandusky Street. All of the gritty pictures, like that are not, they're like almost, they're not even meant to be seen. They're just documenting, because it just like they don't care. It's just get the picture, document it, and move on. And you see things you wouldn't normally see in like the kind of artistic photos where they were trying to be perfect. I think that's a good thing. Mudflood lanterns there. Big old arch. American Electroplating Company. Their trunking tower. You need one of them. Big old chimney. Morgan and River streets. These Mudflood winners just make no sense to me. They stand out so much. It's like, how in the world does did people not notice this before? How did this get past everyone? In 2017, people started like noticing this weird anomaly. And now we're sitting here in 2026 still asking the same damn question: what the hell is going on here? Because there's no doubt something is going on. Now, we may not know, we don't have the answers, and the ninnies will drive you nuts with that, like, you don't know what happened, you have no idea, it's official history, blah blah blah. Well, we know it's official history is not true. We know that. We're past that. At least those of us that are awake to this phenomenon, we're past it. What happened? Was it a mud flood? Was it some other cataclysm? Was it did the hologram get reset? I mean, what's going on? We don't know what. We don't. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of ideas, yes, but nobody knows. Not one single one of us, anybody knows. We don't know. We know, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We know something happened. Look at that Mudflood winner there. Show note. And I don't know the actuality of it, but the channel Trigger Smart, who does Charlie Kirk investigations, was on a stream the other night with Danks, Valhalla, Mr. Let Go, maybe some others, and I just made the comment. I said, you guys are taking questions from people that are paying you money, and I said, I've got good research. I'm not going to pay you to take my research, but I will give it to you for free. And I've got research on the EMTs, and he said, email me. Trigger Smart did, and so I emailed him, and he acknowledged. I told him you got mail in the comments, and he in the live chat said thank you to me. So he acknowledged that he got the email that I sent him on my EMT research. Now, that could lead to something bigger. And he's doing a show right now, I believe, as we speak. He may be talking about that tonight on his show. So I'll have to check that later. But I guess my point is I might have a shoe in to get the shoe in the door to get my Charlie Kirk research to hire bigger channels that are involved in that. Which, if you've been watching my show for a while, you know that I've been trying for a very long time, since I believe October, to get the word out about what I found. So I don't know. Maybe not. We will see. But it's a. He acknowledged that he got it, and he acknowledged that what it was. So we will. It's a positive. So we'll see. I'll keep you informed what I find. I do not know, but I still, I'm not spending any time on it, but other than still trying to get it, get the research to the bigger channels. I'm just such a small channel that they here's what happens. These big channels, and I'm not knocking them for doing it, because I mean, hey, it's America, we're a consumer society, but what they're doing is they're people are sending in these damn super chats, and they're sending them 20, 50, 100, $200 at a time. And I mean, They are making big money doing this. Okay, you know, my God, I wish I could sit around and just do nothing and make a bunch of money. But that's just not who I am. So, you know, all more power to them. But the problem is that if you don't, if you pay them $50, they'll read your comment no matter how fucking stupid it is. They'll read it on their show. Even if they disagree with you, they'll read on their show. Like you paid them $50, they're gonna read your comment. Now, unless you're just a real jackass, they're gonna read your comment. And you know, but the thing is that somebody like me that's just trying to give them my research, they're not reading my comment because it's not highlighted with a $50 bill attached to it. But I'm not going to pay you to take my research. If you want it, it's free, but I'm not going to pay you. You can go fuck yourself. I mean, seriously, that's just not, that's just not how we're going to roll around here. I'm not going to pay to wipe your ass. That's not going to happen. So, anyways, I'm trying. But it's very frustrating because and then they'll say, "Oh, send it to our tip line," and then they're getting so many damn tips. They're either not going through them or they're blasting through them so fast they're not paying attention to them. I don't know. Can't tell you how many times I've been told, "Well, just send it to Candace on her tip line." Well, don't you think I did that already, you dumbass? Like many times. Like, hello. Of course I did that. Why would I not do that? Like, that's what she tells you to do. I did that. Doesn't work. I think what it is, she gets to need a tip and she just goes in her tip line or tip email and like grabs something. I don't think she actually goes through it. I don't think she has the staff to go through it. I think it's just a way to appease people. So here, send your tips here, and then people are appeased. I don't want to be appeased. I want you to receive my research. I want you to look into what I'm saying. How is it possible that I'm the only one that's talking about this? I mean, there has been a few channels that have brushed up against it. And I mean literally brushed up against it. They say, hey, yeah, there was 2 EMTs there. And that's all they say. They don't say what they did or what was going on, what happened. You know, they don't go into detail about it. They don't show any videos of them. They don't show they might show one picture. They might show, one video. I showed them I showed everything. 5.5 hours of damn EMTs. And y'all only do 5 minutes on it? And y'all don't even tell nothing? You don't even tell the name of the EMT, Connor Doherty. I give not only his name, but where he works, his freaking resume, basically, and his Utah EMS ID number. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to give you this. Like y'all just sitting there with your thumbs up your asses, talking about, for Hochuka or whatever the fuck it is. Who cares? I mean, that I just don't care about Fort Wahuka or whatever the hell it is. I mean, like, because you don't have any proof that happened. You have one person that's saying, I saw somebody somewhere. Yeah, but you ain't got any proof. You got proof you were there, but you ain't got any proof that you saw what you saw. So what? Like, I don't care. Quit spending time on it. I got proof of what I'm saying. Okay, I'm done. It's just frustrating, y'all. Bum, 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 bum. Outcrop door. See, the doors are too big, so they make these smaller doors. There's a trap door there and there. Ladder lean for Douglas. Purdy. It's like a gunshot in that door. 1911. So this is right before the hump cut, but this isn't the hump cut area. I saw somewhere, I don't know if this is true, I saw somewhere that today that McDonald's is going to start doing a buffet. Like, that is like one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard. Like, why would you want, okay, we all know that McDonald's food sucks. Raunchy assholes. Like, it's the worst, right? We all know this. Okay. And you know that when you order that thing, it's like been sitting under a heat lamp, or it's been sitting in some heating contraption, or it was heated by some micro, like, you know, it's not made well. Okay, that's the point. It's piece of shit, right? It's probably not even meat. It's probably some kind of, you probably don't even want to know what it is. Okay, it's probably, you know, Soylent Green of some form. Okay, so, and then you're gonna put this thing on a damn buffet to sit under a heat lamp and wait for a bunch of fat asses to come by and pay $12 to eat the buffet. And like, you got this food that's been sitting, I mean, come on. This is not buffet. My point is that this is not buffet food. You don't put hot sandwiches on a buffet. If you've ever, you know, dealt with a buffet, okay, I used to work at food, okay, and we had a buffet, and I know you, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna keep that food. It's gonna taste like bricks of sawdust by the time you eat it. Like, it's so stupid. It's not like, you know, Pizza Hut buffet. It's not like um like Kentucky Fried Chicken does a buffet. Okay, you can do a Kentucky Fried Chicken buffet. Okay, chicken can go on a buffet. It'll be fine. You can do chicken. You know, but you know, you're gonna put chicken nuggets on there. You're gonna put French fries on there. I mean, really, this is such a bad idea. McDonald's they're struggling so bad. Let me give you an idea. Let me give you a hint. Okay, see, if McDonald's would just serve actual real food and not Soylent Green burgers, you know, if they would do that, maybe they could pull themselves out of the slump they're in. Maybe. But until they do that, you know, the people aren't going to go back, and they're charging way too much for the food. Like, you know, there was a time where, you know, even the poor folk could go and eat the dollar menu. You can't even go eat a dollar menu anymore. It's like the shitty food is too expensive. It's literally they've made it so it's cheaper to go to the grocery store now. You know, that's why people went to McDonald's, is because it was cheaper. You know, the people that eat there all the time, I'm not talking about the people that eat there once in a while. You know, people that's the way McDonald's should have been eating all along, is every once in a while. But people don't eat it every once in a while. They eat it every freaking day. It's horrible. It's terrible. All that fast food is. I don't eat fast food. X day on the fast food day. I just don't eat it anymore. It's horrible. It's nasty chop suey. I did a little looking into what chop suey was about the other day. It was kind of interesting. It's weird though. Like, there's no definitive history on why chop suey became a dish. Like, there's like a bunch of different myths on. It's interesting to go read. Go just look up chop suey in the history, like Wiki, you know, and it's just interesting to read some of the stories of chop suey, and why it became a popular dish. And nobody knows the truth. It's it's just a bunch of different stories. You think they'd have a definitive answer about that, but they don't. Let's see. Downtown Cityscape 1916. So this would have been after the Hump cut. Um, yeah, this is the Hump cut was these buildings right here, a little bit down here, but mainly these buildings were the Hump cut area. Yeah, and there's the Allegheny Courthouse right there, and the Frick building is right there. So that's definitely, you'll remember the Hump cut. This is a building that we can look at sometime. This was built right after the Hump cut. And it's a pretty interesting building. Oh, 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 road closed. But why? Coca-Cola, get your cocaine in your cola. I don't remember I quit drinking Coke a long time ago. I don't remember last time I had a soda. Any soda. I don't drink any soda drinks anymore. That's what I did with everything. When I woke up, I just started deleting things from my self that that I did, and I didn't do it everything overnight. I did, I'd conquer one hill, and then I'd conquer another hill, um, and just take it one thing at a time. Don't try to go cold turkey on the world because it's just too hard. I think. Um, I'd go cold turkey on something. Like I would go, like when I quit drinking, I went cold turkey. When I quit doing any drugs, I went cold turkey. But I mean, what I'm saying is, don't quit. Gives example. Don't quit drinking and smoking and eating meat and drinking sodas and taking in aspartame and using fluoride. Don't do everything in one day. It's too much. Take it step by step by step. And you get there's some pavement light right there. That's the kind I like right there. There's some nice pavement light. Who don't like some pavement light? It's funny, nobody ever talks about pavement light. As soon as I touch it, the other channels are just like, oh no, we can't talk about that. No. It's like kryptonite to them. It's kind of funny. That's a big trouble in our community, and I see this in other communities, but not nearly as bad as it is in ours. Is that you can't disagree. As soon as you disagree with another creator, another researcher in our community, you not only have you like pissed them off just for disagreeing with them, you've pissed off all our viewers, and then you're seen as the asshole because see, we say we want truth. We don't want truth. We want to be told everything's warm and fuzzy. We want to be told that when so and so says something and it comes out of their mouth that it's like unicorn farts and it's beautiful and it's perfect and it's truth. But not everything is truth. It's and when you point this out, I thought people wanted to hear the truth. That's not true. That's not the truth. The truth is people don't want truth. They want to be told. It's like they want to be told what they want to hear. Like, and if you happen to be telling somebody what they want to hear, you're good to go. But as soon as you deviate from that, then it's like, oh my goodness, I can't. can't listen to that. Oh my gosh. No, no, no. That's no good. We can't disagree. Oh no, no. We have to, warm and fuzzy everybody. We have to lovey and light everybody. And then they say they're awake. That's not being awake. If you're not disagreeing with other people, you're not awake. Period. You're not awake. Because not everything is true. Not everything you hear, not everything that comes out of people's mouth is the truth. Okay? It can't be. There's too much going on. Okay? It's just the way it is. We do the best we can. But now here's the thing. Here, what sucks is when you know that somebody's not telling the truth, okay, and you point it out, that's just no good in our community. That makes you, an outcast, which I am. I'm the outcast, because I called out what I saw as not being the truth. So that's why I have such, I'm YouTube shadow banned, and I'm, my community. I'm like an outcast in our community because I tell you what I like. I'm just straight with you. People don't want to hear it straight. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and if you don't like it, then that's a you problem. I'm still gonna tell you. I'm not here to, be your best friend or make you feel warm and fuzzy. I'm just here to tell you like I see it, and if that's not okay, then I'm okay with that. It's not really a me problem. It's a you problem. Something you got to figure out. Something you got to work through. Look at this right here, this door. Like, what is even going on there? Like, we got a bar across the doorway. Like, how does that even, like, where's the stairs? Like, what is going on? Okay, let's say they removed the stairs, but, and look at this window here. They got bars across the windows here. I don't understand that. I don't know. Somebody else is going to have to figure that one out. Yep, Mudflood Winter's there. I mean, I see a lot of these channels. There's a few that are standing out to me right now that, they're these old world researchers, and they're buddies with everybody. They get along with everybody, and like you can see everybody from a diddly-eyed Joe to a damned if I know on there. Every type of researcher, right? You got all these different people, and that these people, a lot of these people are full of shit, right? And you know this, and I know this, and like, but these creators will bring these people on, and they'll treat them like they're royalty, and they'll be nice to them, and they'll smile at them, and they'll nod, and they'll wave, and they're buddies with everybody, and they never call them out on their bullshit. They never call them out and say, hey, I disagree with that. They never say, hey, that's not true, because they want to be buddies with everybody. And then, of course, that's what people want to hear. So, they want the lovey and lighty, and then their channels grow, and they become these, big people. But here's the thing, at some point, YouTube's going to clamp you too. I just got clamped early. They clamped a lot of us, the early guys early. And once you're clamped, it's kind of a done deal. You just kind of have to struggle along. But ain't a big deal. It is what it is. One of these days, I imagine that YouTube, that building, look at that right there. I mean, it's sitting in mud. If you can't see that, is that not sitting in mud? Seriously? Come on. Who's writing the narrative here? Look at that. Is that building sitting in a big pile of mud right there? I think it is. I do believe it is. I do believe it is. Mudflood Winter's there. love these old signs. They're so cool. I bet those would be worth a lot of money if they were intact today. Look at that. Chisel our name into that building because we stole it. There's one of them spiral staircases. Isabella and Rampart. There you go, Morgan. I don't know if Morgan's still with us. I ain't seen him in a while. There's Fred, doing what Fred does. Bricks everywhere. I notice Fred's not hauling in bricks. Might be hauling out bricks. But Fred brought all the bricks in here, supposedly. That's what Fred did. That was Fred's job, bringing all the bricks. Look at that Moorish window right there. I highly suggest y'all look into the Moors that were in America. They definitely are a big portion of what is going on in this world. The cover up of the Moors in America before we got here, and then the takeover. I believe they were a big, the big group we took from in a lot of ways. I don't think they were the only ones though, but the black royalty, look into that, black nobility. I think that's a big, secret hiding in plain sight. Something that I definitely think if you haven't looked into that, look into that. Just take all the black history that you've been taught. I don't care where you're from. I don't give a shit where you're from. I don't care if you're from fucking Africa. Take it, throw it out, and start over. Okay? It just did not happen the way you were told. At all. None of it. It's all bullshit. And the sooner we get that figured out, the better we'll be. Better we will be. See how that's a broken glass plate negative right there? Pretty cool, huh? Bill Alley. Are y'all enjoying these pictures, or they suck ass? 1 for enjoying and 2 for suck ass. Put it in the chat. Let's hear it. Don't be a smart ass, Sig. Truth. Even if you can't handle the truth. We got a best with Sig. Sig, I saw your photos that you sent me. Your God was taking care of your ass that day. I tell you that. Good for you, man. That was a rough one there, buddy. Good for you. I'm glad you got through that. Okay. That's definitely God shining on your ass that day. For sure. No doubt. No doubt. Look at that wrought iron work right there. My goodness. Beautiful buffet. I used to like a buffet, like when I was younger. But like when I was younger, I could eat a lot. A big boy, big growing boy. I can't put down hardly a plate now. Like, you got to take me to a Chinese buffet. I'm like, one plate. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I am over it. Like, it's too much. You would think I could eat more being a big boy now. I just don't. I can't. I don't know. Just don't eat. Just don't eat like you think I eat. It's just, I don't know. I'm older now. And I'm not saying I don't, I'm full. Like, it's like, I don't know. I guess that's just part of being older. I don't know. Do. Mr. Fred is going to get him another load of bricks. Look here. Why? That's cool how she's ghosted out a little bit there. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Wall footings. Okay. Home restaurant and quick lunch. Owl cigars. That there was an Owl cigar sign in the Market Street, Trip Down Market Street film, if you remember that. All right. I tell you what, I'm going to take another break, and we'll be back in a minute, and we will do some more, go a little bit longer, and so take a quick break, and we'll be right back, you guys. Okay, there. I'm trying to get it going there. Okay, okay. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. Let's see here. The adds to stage. Put my doodad. Okay, want another biscuit, baby? Okay. Hippie says you can have 50,000 biscuits each show. So there's 6. We'll get get the rest of them in a minute. Okay, so let's see. Mudflood windows, in case you need them. Bum 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 bum. That Mudflood window right there, that's a weird one. No, I'm very appreciative of all of you, hanging out and being interested in what I'm doing here. I wish I could do more. If I had more time, I would. When I first started this channel, I had a lot more time, but I definitely don't have a lot of time now to work on it. I've tried to go spend more time in the research seat than the presentation seat as time's gone on, trying to find deeper answers than I originally started off with. And I think that's a good thing. Sometimes I'll find something really good, as you know, with get rid of this stupid thing, it annoys me. Yeah. Sometimes I find good stuff. It's not every day you find something, great. Some days that guy was in the Hump cut pictures, if you remember. So this is 1911, so he definitely would have been around. I'm interested to see, what's gonna see. Here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize that this is happening, and you will in time. But as these channels that you see that are getting really big now, are what they're doing is they're standing on the shoulder of giants. Okay, so you get these channels and they come out of nowhere and they start doing videos talking about old world research, and they build on the research that's already been done. So they jump up faster. Then the audience has gotten bigger over time because of things that the people that came before them have done. So the audience grows at the same time. And then so their channels are getting really big really fast. And a lot of y'all talk about this. I don't understand how they're getting so big so fast. Well, it's just the way it works, okay? And then what's going to happen is they'll get clamped at some point. YouTube will clamp them down, okay, and they will start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I literally will, like, if you watch closely the sub count numbers, when you stagnate, you'll see that there's numbers coming in, but there's also more going out. Like it's like they go in there and they delete subscribers. And I think what it is that when you have subscribers that are not clicking on videos, I think they take advantage of that until the algorithm tells it to delete that subscriber because they won't notice, and it's like, this is when you're clamped down. But anyways, I guess the point is that when you see these, you'll see these channels, they'll grow very fast in the beginning, but at some point they will get clamped down, and then they'll start struggling. It's just the way it is. So anybody you see that's on the rise now, it's at some point they will stagnate. But they don't know that's going to come, and so when it comes, they start getting frustrated, and then they start doing stuff trying to make the channel better, which makes it worse, and then it just stagnates worse. Anyways, it's YouTube. YouTube sucks from a creator standpoint. It's the same thing with eBay. Um, Back in the day, eBay, when it first started, was the wild, wild west. You could go on eBay as a seller, you could put your items up there, and you could, eBay took a cut, you could make some money, everybody was happy. The problem with eBay got so big that they started constantly messing with the program, the way items were listed. They started charging more. They started taking, and when I say charging more, they're not charging the customer, they're charging the seller. Because when you sell an item, they took out a certain percentage of the sale price, not from the customer. They took it out of your cut. Okay, so every time they jacked the prices up, it was hurting the sales of the sellers, and they couldn't. At some point, it just people were like, okay, I'm out. Like you're just you've destroyed it. But that's what YouTube is doing. They see YouTube doesn't care. They don't give a damn. The YouTube is just a matter of control. It's not about they're making money, but they don't care about it. It's not the money they care about. It's about the control, the information control, and they can turn on that tap, turn off that tap at will with those damn algorithms. See, I could, start a new channel and then grow very quickly now. But the problem is, at some point, they would clamp me down. I'd be back at square one. What's the point? There's no point. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm talking to the creators that are out there now that are facing this same problem. I'm telling you that it's just the way it is. It's not you that's the problem. It's the program. And then the people that think they're hot shit now, they're going to be having trouble later too. So I don't like, oh my gosh, this person getting hundreds of thousands of millions of subscribers. Yeah, they are now. You wait. It'll change. I don't know why YouTube does that. They're stupid, I guess. I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna do what I do, and I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna worry about it. I enjoy doing this, and as long as y'all enjoy doing this, and we can agree that it's an enjoyable thing, then we'll do it. As soon as it becomes not fun or not interesting or boring or stupid or useless, then at that time I won't do it. Keeps me off the streets. You know what I'm saying? Keep Sig off the streets too. As long as we keep Sig off the streets, we're good to go. Hey Sig, did you notice that Sean Ryan gave when him and Candace, look at that Mudflood winner, when Sean Ryan interviewed Candace this past week, that he gave her a Sig Sauer for as a show gift for coming on his show. I thought that was interesting. Bunch might like that. Look at that right there. What's going on there? Orphans Picnic. Remember the Orphans Picnic. Kind of interesting. The kids jumping over the fence. Very cool. River and Rampart. You like that? You like that, Sig? You saw that? Yep. Said, yep. gold medal flower. Octagon Soap Premium Store. Pavement lights right there. There's some. It's like some there too, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it might. Yeah, I think that might be. Yeah, that's pavement light right there. It's a different kind of pavement light than these. These are in a metal frame and these are concreted. Just looks weird. I tell you what, I only have like 3 or 4, maybe 3 pavement light construction photos. I would love to find more, but I have not. I don't know. Very, very rare photos. Sure wish I could download these damn things. But Sandwick Street, Deadly's Tea. Heck of a time back then. Morgan and Reliance roads. Buffalo Bills at the Allegheny. Looks like they might be lower in that building, maybe. Kind of looks like it. Reliance Street. Mudflood drop in there. Mudflood Wanders. Rose and Rampart. That's something I noticed a lot. Is a lot of children didn't have shoes in this time. Very common. That dude's a vampire. That kid, yep, vampire. Yep, no doubt, 100% vampire. Yep, found vampire. Look at him, Buffalo Winter dropping thingy doodads, whatever the hell's going on there. I don't even know what the hell is that. Like, why build like that? That's a hell of a way to build steps. Talk about repurposing something. Jeez, you know that wasn't what that was originally for. Well, that's in Sandusky. Look at them doors. Do they look proper? Do they look correct? No, I do not think so. They are mud flooded. You don't build like that. That's just, you don't build like that. I don't care what anybody says. You don't build like that. People build things so it's convenient for people because we're people. You don't build things that are inconvenient for people because we are people. So you don't build doors that are 5 feet tall, and you're gonna walk into the freaking header. That's not how you build things. It's stuff like that that stands out like a sore thumb. Reliance and Federal. There's Pooper Scooper, man. Doing what he does best. Takes the dust of none. Best in the field. All right. I'm not sure what they're saying there. Horse water troughs right there. Some weirdness going on there. Not sure what that's about. That's weird. Like, are they raising the street or lowering the street? Like, is this the old and they've lowered the street, or is this the new and they're raising the street? Like, they're doing something here. I don't know which it is. I don't know. Some oddness there. Those are hump cut pics. We don't need no stinking hump cut, man. Bum, 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 bum. Hump cut. We don't want that. Blast through those. I'm sure y'all have had enough hump cut for a while. Let's see. Here we go. Uptown View. 1916. So this was right after the hump cut. Porthole windows. Mudflood windows. Dark picture. Of course, back then Pittsburgh was dark, very dark. Some wild stories about Pittsburgh. It was a whole different place back then. These are all hump cut. We don't want that. Those are hump cuts. Hump cuts. Going on down, looking for something that ain't the hump cut. Oh, 1920. Millwood Street. I mean, just like, it's, you kind of got to wonder, like, how do people live like this? Like, I'm not talking about these houses look fine. It's the grading of the land. Like, why would you like logically build like that? Why would you do that? What was the thinking process behind that if that's how they did it? Like, does that look at this stuff, how ratty it is. Looks like it's been here 1,000 years. Unkept. Like, just, ugh. Brownsville Avenue. Pickaxe is going. Danger. I thought you liked danger. If y'all hadn't seen that video for that song Go, the Chemical Brothers, the original video, that video is excellent. That is a really cool music video. I like it. Great song, but cool music video to go with it. Square dancing. Hung out. Took Tuesday off this week. I forgot what it was. Took Tuesday off this week and went and hung out with my friends Neil and Amelia, and they're getting up there, and Neil's getting pretty on up there, and he's having some health problems, and he needed a little help this week at his house. So I took off Tuesday and went and helped him at home, and he had his TiVo had messed up on him, and where he records his TV, and he ordered a new hard drive, and so I took his TiVo apart and put his new hard drive in for him, and got it set up and working. And I fixed his stereo where he had a he had a nice home theater sound system put in where it's got center channel and subwoofers and front speakers and rear speakers, and they sit in the room. The way the room is a rectangle room, and the way they sit in the room, the front, well, I should say the front and rear speakers are in the ceiling. They face directly down, so the focus of the speakers is right towards the floor, so they don't sound right. I would not have done them that way if I was doing it. I would have put front speakers that were pointing at them. But anyways, the rear speakers were, they're designed, to not really push a whole lot of wattage. It's just not the way it works. And so the what was happening was they sat on the back end, basically underneath the rear speakers, and it was too loud for his wife, and it was not loud enough for him because he's hard of hearing. And so what I went in there, I took his stereo apart and rewired it so the front speakers would come out the rear and the rear speakers would come out the front, and so that he could keep the volume down because it was right over his head, and it wouldn't have to be as loud, so she could enjoy it too. And they really liked that, so took care of that. And then we rehung they have a living room. I mean, like an actual living room. People don't do that anymore. They have an actual living room. One of those rooms that you never go into. In the front of the house is a huge room with the best furniture, and it's like it was for greeting guests and stuff like that back in the day, and then now nobody's using it. Well, they actually have one of these things, which I don't really understand. But anyways, it's an old house. So they had this big fence, big pretty mirror sitting above the fireplace, and it was, when it was hung by his mother a long time ago, it was hung an inch and a half to the left of center. It was driving her crazy. So we figured out how to rehang that mirror so it was centered, so it would stop driving her crazy. You can't have your friends going crazy, you know. So, anyways, that's what I did Tuesday, and I don't know. Sometimes it's good to just stop and do something for somebody, and I think it makes a difference. Just helping people um, for no particular reason, you know. Oh, and we went out to lunch too. Me and me and his wife. He doesn't like to do that sort of thing. So me and her went out and had a veggie pizza at this little pizza joint in town. It's really good. I think it's called Archie's or something. Anyways, they make good pies. So we went and had pizza, and I don't eat much pizza. I rarely eat pizza now, but they make good pizza. So it's like a mom and pop kind of place. We did that. But anyways, that since they're it's one of those situations where this guy I've known him for quite a while, and he's having some health problems where anytime he could have a problem, and that's the end of old Neil, and so I'm trying to when I have a little extra time to try to spend a little time with them, just to just because I think we don't stop and look around enough, and so I try to do that, and I think that's important. I think people don't do that enough, and I don't know. It's just something I did. I guess what I'm saying is I'm encouraging you guys to stop and think about people that are in your life that might could use a visit, and just going and spend a little time with them, and breaking bread with them, or helping them do a little something around the house that they can't really particularly do because they can't. That little stuff means the world to them, and maybe it puts a few angel points in your pocket, just for not being you know doing something for just somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Encourage y'all to do that kind of thing. Um, I don't know. I just think people they don't spend the time with people that are up there in age like they should anymore. People don't. They always say, "I'm too busy. I'm too busy." Well, yeah, you're always going to be too busy. You have to just stop and just do it. You know. And of course, they'll try to pay you, and you say no. Your money's no good, and that's important too, because they don't need to be paying you for your kindness. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying go do a good deed is all I'm saying. Go do a good deed here and there. That way, you get rid of some of your asshole points, because we all got asshole points now. You got them, I got them, you got them, anyways. Check out that big old bit on nanatorium. That was an interesting structure. That bridge. Wow. I'm enjoying these pictures. I don't know about y'all. I hope y'all are. If you're not, oh well. We'll blame it on GT. It's GT's fault. He let me know he definitely wanted to look at these. I said, well, okay, might piss Sig off, but if it does, I'll handle it. I'll deal with it. No problem. Let's see. Look at that thing. Good grief. Jeez. There was just as good a stuff as anywhere else in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, there was. I think this goes for every city. And granted, you have you're going to have more in bigger cities than you do in smaller towns. But I'm sorry, even in the small towns and cities, that you're going to find good stuff. Take the time and look around. And don't just look for what is there. Look for what was there. Look, they're working on lowering that building right there. Look at that. Look for what was there, and you could start with those Sanborn fire maps, like I'm doing. That is a great place to learn more about your city or wherever you want to look into. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be your city. Prism glass right there. Anytime you see those, you look down for pavement glass. Obviously, we can't see that one, but I definitely always look down when I see that. Raised house 16, house raised 16 feet. Look at that. Why? Why? Anyone? Bueller, why would you raise that house 16 feet? Why? Why would you do that? What the hell is this? What in the hell are they doing there? Okay. You know what I think I'm looking at? You tell me if I'm wrong. It's okay. What if this house was down here, right? And you look at this dirt, right? What if this dirt was like covering up this house and they uncovered this sucker? I mean, you got to, like, if this house is down here, they raised it 16 feet. It's here now. It's down here originally. And obviously is under the dirt, right? It's got to be, right? Or am I missing something? That's as big, that's almost, I bet you if you put a tape measure on that, that is that distance from here to here is the same distance as from here to here. It's like that whole house was under the dirt. Is that possible? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Angle of West Zoo Drive. I don't know, y'all. Ladies volleyball. All right. Okay. Well, this is not the volleyball I would say I'm used to. A little bit different. Are they wearing pantaloons? What are they wearing? Okay. They look like sailors with pantaloons. I don't know. He's got box man right there. There's so much going on here that, like, it's just so many questions. We got Moorish right there. I don't think the Moors were ever. I don't think the entire civilization was Moors. That I'm not saying that it was all Moors. That we came here and there was Moors here and that was that. I don't believe that's what it was. I believe they were a significant portion. I think they were a very important portion, and I think that they were in control in a lot of ways of the civilization, and they pissed somebody off. I don't know what happened, but they, made somebody mad, and that's something that we need more information on. And another thing is that, I see um, our black people in America, at least, I don't know about other countries, but in America, they're hurting so bad because of the way they've been treated. And I'm not talking about how they're all butt hurt about reparations or any of that bullshit. That's all bullshit. What I'm talking about is that they have been really abused, and they have really been let down and pushed aside and stomped on and treated like subhuman people, and they have been put in positions where they have had to struggle, and it has demoralized them in a large way. Now, some of these people have risen to the top. They've risen above that, and that's wonderful, but not not nearly enough. And I want them to know about this somehow. I want them to see that they were special, that they were important to our world, that they did have, you know, skills, and they were prosperous, and they were intelligent, and they were royalty at one point, and they came from royalty. They didn't come from spear chucking Africans. Okay, that's not where they came from. That's not who they are. And that is, I'm not saying there's not spear chucking Africans. There are. There. That's not where the American, uh, uh, the people that were here when we got here. That's not where they started off. They were very big and important in our world. I mean, you know. Oh, if you're wondering, my background tonight is Daily Plaza, and right here is the Texas School Book Depository, and right, you can't see it, but it's right there behind the logo. But this is Daily Plaza, where they shot JFK when it's under construction. I just thought this picture was really cool, so I thought I'd share. Um, so that is that. So I think that is about all the jibby jabbing I can do this week. Um, it's I'm just checking out your comments. I hope you all had a good week, and I sure appreciate you hanging out. And I'm gonna go ahead and get on with my evening. I'll watch a show or something and relax, kick back, and go get me some rest. And I will do some more looking into my hump cut research this week and try to finish. I should be able to hopefully finish that out this week, and then put together a video of all the sandboard fire maps and what I found, so you can see everything at one time, which I think will really be eye popping to visually see what was there, what is gone, what is there, what is gone. I think that will be just an interesting exercise in learning of what's going on. So, anyways, um, I appreciate all your time, and thank you for being so kind to each other in the chats. Looks like you guys are having a good time there. Looks like you guys are making friends, and unfortunately, as I'm doing this, I can't join into that conversation as much, um, and it's just not. I'm not good at doing both. Some people are, some people aren't. I'm not. I either have to do one or the other, and sometimes I do that. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't. But not that I don't go back and read everything that you guys say. So, because I do want to know, that's my way of participating in some form. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and try to do something good for somebody else that you know they can't do for themselves. And I think it'll give you a couple cool points with the creator, and I think you can sleep a little bit better at night, maybe doing that. So anyways, have a good week, and don't be, a stranger. I'll see you soon. Love, Beags.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
It's a mystery! It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma! Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.